In ancient Egypt, building tombs was an extremely demanding task. It wasn't just about carving stones or raising walls. It required strict discipline and dedication. Workers had to labor for 10 straight days before being given 2 days of rest. They would begin their work early in the morning and take a break at midday for food. Each day before starting work, the laborers were handed tools, usually made of copper. These tools were carefully weighed before distribution and again when returned in the evening to ensure nothing went missing. A special official, known as the scribe, who could read and write, was responsible for watching over the tools all day. He made sure that after the work ended, all tools were locked away safely. Copper was a highly valuable metal at the time, so its protection was taken very seriously. If any worker was caught stealing, they were punished severely, often beaten with sticks. These tombs were built for kings and nobles to keep them safe for eternity after death. The workers' efforts were not only physically exhausting but also closely monitored to prevent mistakes or theft. These were the unsung heroes who brought to life the majestic tombs that still amaze the world today. It was a hot and sticky night in June 2005. The city of Agra, known worldwide for the Taj Mahal, was wrapped in an eerie silence that night. On Ida Road stood the Institute of Mental Health, locally known as the Pagalkhana, the asylum. A dark secret loomed over it. The air was thick with humidity, and the temperature hovered around 34 degrees Celsius. Heavy black clouds covered the sky, and flashes of lightning occasionally tore it open. A light drizzle fell, making the streets even more deserted. This asylum had been established in 1859. Its old walls were covered with moss and dust, and its heavy iron gates were rusted. Locals believed that the place wasn't just a treatment center for the mentally ill but also haunted. Strange sounds were said to echo through its empty corridors at night. Screams, whispers, and sometimes a laugh so chilling it froze the blood of those who heard it. Some said the souls of patients who died during treatment still roamed the old wards. Others spoke of an ancient well at the back of the asylum, haunted by the spirit of a woman who returned every few years seeking revenge. That same night, a horrifying incident took place at the rear of the asylum. Near the old male ward, the corpse of a 50-year-old woman, identity unknown, was found in an open field. Her body was soaked in blood and her arms were severed. She wore a tattered, faded sari. Bloodstains marked the ground nearby, but the strangest part was that her severed arms were found on the roof of the ward. The scene was so terrifying that local witnesses were paralyzed with fear. Someone immediately called the police. Inspector Rajesh Kumar from the Agra police station arrived at the scene with his team. A seasoned officer, even Rajesh was shaken by what he saw. There were no clues near the body, no weapon, no footprints, and no witnesses. The rain had turned the ground to mud, making evidence harder to trace. Rajesh sent the body for autopsy and launched a full investigation. This wasn't an isolated incident. In early June 2005, another strange event had taken place. A patient named Ram Lal had vanished from the ward during the night. 2 days later, his body was found in the same old well at the back of the asylum. The police had ruled it a suicide, but locals believed that an unseen force had taken him. That event had already spread fear among the staff and patients. Rajesh began questioning the asylum staff. The warden, Mr. Gupta, an elderly man who had worked there for over 30 years, shared chilling stories. He said the spot where the woman's body was found had a dark history. Years ago, a female patient named Lakshmi had set herself on fire at the same location. Since then, strange shadows had been seen at night, and some patients often screamed about hearing voices. But whenever staff checked, they found nothing. Rajesh suspected the murder could be the act of a human, but the high security and locked walls of the asylum left him puzzled. He stayed up all night reviewing the asylum's old records and learned that several patients had displayed strange behavior at night. One patient, known simply as Baba, would often draw bizarre symbols on the walls, sometimes with blood, sometimes with charcoal. Rajesh decided to meet Baba. He was a 60-year-old man with long white hair silently sitting on his bed. When Rajesh asked about the murder, Baba's eyes lit up with a strange glow. In a soft voice, he whispered, "She comes back. She takes everyone." When asked who she was, Baba fell silent. Rajesh inspected Baba's room and found one of his strange symbols on the wall, a circle with an eerie face drawn inside. The symbol made Rajesh's heart race. The next night, Rajesh and his team decided to stay overnight in the asylum. They set up cameras near the male ward and began their surveillance. Around 2 a.m., a strange sound echoed, like metal being dragged on the ground. Rajesh and his team rushed over the sound and reached the same field where the woman's body had been found. Nothing was there, but fresh blood stains marked the ground. As Rajesh scanned the area with his flashlight, he suddenly saw a shadow fleeing toward the roof of the ward. He ordered his team to chase it. When they reached the rooftop, they were shocked to find a man with blood on his hands. It was Ramu, an asylum employee. He held a sharp knife and wore a twisted smile. As Rajesh tried to arrest him, Ramu leapt from the roof. When the police reached the ground, Ramu lay dead. But the knife was gone. Though Ramu's death added to the mystery, it didn't bring clarity. Was Ramu the real killer or just a pawn? Rajesh delved deeper into the asylum's history and discovered a disturbing past. In the 1970s, a female doctor named Dr. Malti worked at the asylum. She was accused of conducting illegal experiments on patients, many of whom died. One night, several patients attacked her and she fell into the same old well. Since then, strange phenomena had been reported near the well. Rajesh decided to inspect the well. He and his team went there late at night. The well was dry, but a foul smell emanated from it. When Rajesh shone his flashlight inside, he saw something strange. Symbols carved into the walls, identical to those Baba had drawn. He climbed down into the well and found an old box. Inside were age documents and a photograph. Dr. Malti standing with a little girl. Reading the documents, Rajesh learned that Dr. Malti had a daughter whom she had hidden within the asylum. After Malti's death, the girl vanished. Rajesh began to suspect the murders might be connected to that girl, now an adult. On questioning the staff, he learned about a woman named Radha who had started working there a few years ago. She never spoke of her past and was often seen wandering the wards alone at night. Rajesh set out to find Radha, but she had disappeared. His search led him to the old sealed-off ward of the asylum. There he found a room with symbols drawn in blood on the walls. In the center stood an old mirror. When Rajesh looked into it, he saw not just his reflection but a shadow behind him. He turned around, nothing. Suddenly the door slammed shut and laughter echoed through the room. Gun drawn, Rajesh followed the sound into a dark corridor where he finally found Radha. She held the same knife Ramu had. Her face bore a terrifying smile and her eyes glowed red. As she lunged at him, Rajesh defended himself and managed to capture her. During interrogation, Radha revealed she was Dr. Malti's daughter. After her mother's death, she had been abandoned in the asylum and suffered years of torment. She claimed her mother's spirit commanded her to seek revenge. She had murdered the woman and framed Ramu. But when Rajesh asked about the well, she fell silent and whispered only one line, "She's still there." Rajesh had Radha imprisoned, but her story haunted him. He had the well sealed, but strange things continued to happen at the asylum. Patients claimed to see a woman's shadow near the well at night. Locals still believe that Dr. Malti's spirit lingers, punishing anyone who dares uncover her secrets. Rajesh concluded his report, stating that Radha committed the murder, but the full truth was never uncovered. To this day, Agra's asylum stands silently with its secrets. At night, screams echo through its walls, and an icy chill surrounds the old well, filling the hearts of those who pass by with dread.